Do you trust your team? Are they a successful team? How can you build a successful team? Hello, it's Andy Savva, and I'm going to share my views and thoughts on how I managed to build a successful and effective team. Let me start with my definition of a team. For me, it's a group of people who need to work together in order to achieve a common goal, for which they are all mutually accountable for. It really does take leadership to build a great team, whether in our workplace, whether in a professional sports field, or in your local community. Team building requires a keen understanding of people and their strengths and what gets them motivated to go to work or be part of a team in the first place. A successful business will operate best when all employees work with a team mentality. Now, let me tell you, team building is both an art and a science, and a person who can consistently build high performance teams is worth their weight in gold. If we look at history, it shows us, and it takes a special kind of leader with unique competencies and skills to successfully build great companies and sports teams. In the sports world, Sir Alex Ferguson set the standard for building great and successful football teams over several years. And in the business world, we can look to maybe Jack Welch, who was the chairman and CEO of General Electric back in the early 80s and up to 2001, 2002. Their company value rose 4,000% during his time. And building a successful garage business requires the ability to master the art of people. It means knowing how each person thinks and how to best utilize their strengths and their skills at all times. I will share with you the 6 areas that I constantly focused on and worked on, which helped me build a great and successful team at Brunswick Garage. Number 1, you must be aware of how you work. And as the leader of your team, you must be extremely aware of your leadership style and the techniques. Are they as effective as you think? How well are they accepted by the team that you're attempting to lead? Though you may be in charge, how you work may not be appreciated by those who work with you and around you. You may have really good intentions, but make sure you hold yourself accountable to correct and modify your approach if necessary, to ensure that you're leading from a position of strength and respectability. Number 2, you must get to know your team. The importance of caring and understanding the needs of your team and embracing the differences and helping them will certainly enhance the feeling or their feeling of importance. Learning what defines their strengths, their capabilities, and motivating them is a never-ending challenge, but hugely rewarding, and I can speak from experience. I made sure that each of my team members felt important to me. It was my duty as a leader to exactly know what buttons to push and when to push them. And I invested a huge amount of time to understand how they thought and what was required to motivate them, to give them every chance to excel beyond what was expected. Number 3, you must clearly define their roles and responsibilities. And this should be it should be part of your recruitment process, where you clearly communicate and document the roles and responsibilities of your team members. Now, I understand more than anyone how difficult this is now in our repair sector, with the critical shortage of both reception personnel and obviously competent technicians. And this will continue. However, just hiring someone to make up numbers can harm your team and the overall performance and objectives of the business. Number 4, you must be proactive with feedback. Yes, feedback is the key to assuring your team is staying on track. It should be proactive and it should be constant. Feedback is simply the art of great communication. It can be both formal and informal. In fact, in my early years, my feedback technique to my team was too structured, robotic, and this becomes very difficult for the feedback to be authentic and from the heart. Now remember that every team member is different. Number 5, acknowledge and reward with proactive feedback. This is crucial, as acknowledgement and reward is a fundamental key for people to be recognized and motivated. Take your time in giving team members proper accolades they have earned and deserve. I have seen too many owner-managers take performance for granted because they don't believe that one should be rewarded for doing their job. Each team member should feel like their job matters. It's no secret that a sense of purpose will enhance their performance. When people feel that their role is, undervalued, or they're just a number, they become demotivated. Make sure you always share news with everybody in your teams. I always kept a level of transparency wherever possible with all my team members. And even if the information wasn't to one specific or related to one specific person, still share the news collectively. Being genuine in your recognition and respect goes a long way towards building loyalty and trust. And it naturally will ignite extra effort upon your team. And I always put my team on the highest pedestal that I could put them on, making sure I constantly communicated that they were my biggest assets. And lastly, always celebrate success. Celebrating your successes and milestones also brings your team together, and it allows everyone to share in that time of happiness. If someone did a great job at something, I made sure they were told in front of the rest of the team so that their efforts can be seen and appreciated by all. In contrast, if your team fails at something, come together to redirect their efforts and your efforts and try to turn this into a positive. Don't throw anyone under the bus. Instead, give your team equal responsibility to put their heads together and figure out the next steps or new solutions. I'm only as successful as my team and the people around me. And to this day, I owe my gratitude to everyone in my team who joined me at Brunswick Garage. If you get the people thing right, the team dynamics, the decisions, and the diverse personalities within that group will prosper and everyone will win in the end. I want to leave you with one last thought. Celebration is a short-lived activity. Don't ignore it. Take the time to live in the moment and remember what allowed you to cross the finish line. Thank you for watching again. Stay safe, stay well. God bless.